It is 6 o'clock, so I will call the meeting to order. Going to do a roll call. Lori Blargen.
Here.
Ian McDonald. Matt Foucault.
Here.
Lacey Oster. Myself here. Bruce Blargen.
Here.
Marge Galil.
Here.
Our district mission: together we engage, educate, and empower all learners, bridging their passions to pathways to create successful futures and positively contribute to our local and global community. Is there a motion to approve the agenda this evening?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I have not received any public comment. Shannon, have you received anything?
No, I have not.
Okay. Then moving on for our topics for discussion and action. Our first order of business is to elect a new board clerk. And if this has any other openings, if it comes out of this, then we would go ahead and fill any other openings that would possibly be switched around. So I will start by if there are any nominations to fill for our board clerk position.
I'll nominate Lori.
Okay, any other nominations? No. We're gonna second that, right? Nomination? No.
So I would wait and see if there's any other nominations.
And then we vote. Is there any other nominations? I would like to nominate Ian McDonald. Any other nominations? Okay, so since there are two, we'll go ahead and do a paper vote.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna pause this quick, and Lori, maybe you can speak to this, but since there are an even amount, do I not vote?
I think you always can have a vote.
It would be if there's a tie?
I'm not sure on that.
Sorry.
Let's wait and see. So we have one for Lori. A second for Lori. A third for Lori. One for Ian. One for Ian. And one for Ian.
I'm looking this up, sorry. If anybody gets an answer, you just let me know.
I
I'm
think
pretty
we
sure
should.
you can vote, Lucy.
I just didn't know what to do now in a tie break, because I
Well,
feel like
how
this,
about if
this could very well happen.
I will withdraw my name from the position. So I'm gonna change my vote to Ian.
You don't
nope,
have to.
I don't need to think about it at all.
Okay. Then Ian, with that, you are our new clerk. Okay, then moving forward, looking at appointing a new CISA Board of Control representative. So Cherie, before her resignation, served as our CISA rep. I guess putting it out there if anybody is interested in this position.
We don't need one, right?
Well, yeah, we do, because
Mhm.
if we don't have one, then Somerset gives up our, because not every school board in the CISA has a board representative. So if we give it up, then it goes to another school district. And Somerset has had it for many, many years, and it was something that was considered valuable to be a part of. So I would encourage us to continue. And I have done it in the past, and I don't mind doing it again if there were, unless somebody else would like to do it.
Is anybody else interested? Perfect, Lori, it goes to you then.
Okay.
Thank you for volunteering.
Sure.
Then moving on
Can
to.
I, just one
Yeah.
quick thing, so I will email Brandon Robinson tonight after the meeting, and I'll give him your name, and I'll copy you on the email, so he has your email as well.
Yep, great,
Okay.
thank you.
Yep. Sorry.
No. So then moving forward to discuss and talk about the process timelines for filling the seat vacancy that we have. Shannon printed out and made a copy of the policy that outlines when the vacancy occurs and then filling the vacancy. But looking down at that kind of second part under filling a vacancy, we have to just discuss if there's anything, I mean, it's outlined, but if there's things we need to add or discuss, to add a little bit more detail to this as far as a timeline and any other details we want to determine as a board.
This just happened a couple of years ago.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
guys
never
have a
even-
roadmap,
Well, we kind of just went, kind of followed it as like next meeting, as far as
Did we do those interviews at a meeting or was that special?
it was.
It was a special session on January 3rd.
It was special?
So Roxanne resigned on November 22nd. We had discussion on December 6th and December 20th, and we agreed to have a special session on January 3rd. There were 4 candidates. One of them was out of the country. We tried to reach him by phone. We weren't able to.
So, I mean, it will start as getting it out there. Right now, I know there's already some word of mouth going around as far as the opening that's up. If we can, put that in the Spartan Scoop, I know that that was done as well. And, what were you gonna say?
Is there an October meeting? Fourth?
Ninth,
I think
That's a Sunday, isn't it?
The
probably?
6th.
Monday.
the 6th.
That's a Friday.
No.
I know.
So-
October 9th is the second Monday.
9th, excuse me, 9th and the 23rd.
Because really, according to this and the information that Shannon you got, there's not a specific date in which we have to do it.
Well, we have to do it within 60 days.
Right, so I think that, in my opinion, leaving here with, how long, what's the date that you're going to accept, the letters of interest, looking at the upcoming board meetings, do you want to designate one of those to be the interview date? I think, just so, public and community knows too, kind of what the timeline is. But yeah, it's not infinite, so.
And really, we don't have to have a special session. We could do it at one of those meetings, correct?
Yeah.
What if there's,
So we have-
but if there's 8 or
we
10
did it.
people though?
We did it at a regular meeting.
Can we have their interest put in by like the 4th,
Just time for everybody to look at it.
before the meeting on the 9th?
By the end of the month. It's 2 weeks.
Yeah, and if they get it, they do that. If they get it to the clerk by the 6th, and then we have them come to the meeting on the 9th.
I'm just wondering, is that soon enough? Is there anything about the agenda that you need to get together and That's what I was thinking Wednesday.
I feel
Doesn't
like
matter.
before, well, it has to be enough time because I know before the meeting, the last time, we had like their answers to the questions and the information about them. So I think we wanna make sure that we have that in ample time and there's ample time for it to get to
Meeting
us and
answers?
then, right. I mean, and then they're here and they answer those questions, but I think just that turnaround too. I mean, I guess there's not a ton of turnaround. Was it, the people that were interested, was that then published? I can't remember. Because I remember like the answer forms. And I can't remember if the people that put their names in, if that was then given to the public prior.
It might have been listed on the agenda, but I don't know that it was.
I think they all were able to do a statement.
Mm-hmm.
We had them do a statement at the meeting, and then we had any questions we wanted to ask.
But prior, they answered, I know
Yeah,
it
they
says
sent
right
us.
here, like they answered, they said that they were interested, but they answered like 3 questions prior, just like,
Yeah,
why
was
do
it-
you want to?
I think it's the same questions that we ask any candidate for.
When it's any
An
school board
election.
election. And then those answers to the questions were put together prior to the meeting.
I mean,
For us to see.
I think we just do kind of what we do for the Sparta School Board Ready, where we ask those questions. If they get it to us by the 5th, which is the Thursday, then we get it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we review it as we review any other meeting agenda. And we have it present on the 9th, and we vote on the 9th.
So have in by the 5th,
That's just my
and
take.
then add it to the agenda on the 9th.
Unless anybody
The
has
final
two-
decision on the ninth.
Yeah, and then we would add it, they would present, they would not present, but I mean, come to the meeting on the 9th
For an interview.
for an interview, and then we would vote upon it at that time.
How full is that agenda gonna be for the ninth? Any thoughts yet?
I do, so just if you give me 1 sec here.
And then are we doing,
It's
oh,
a
sorry.
slide full of a whole bunch of graphics that,
Trish.
oh, yeah, Trish. But that was September 25th, it wasn't October 9th.
Would it maybe be better to be on the 23rd instead of, I know it's pushing it out, but on the 23rd instead of the 9th, because usually then those meetings aren't quite as lengthy.
So long as it's 5 weeks.
I was just thinking it'd be easier to drink work session.
During work session.
Doesn't matter.
Did we do a formal interview with questions, or was it just kind of a back and forth, open dialogue?
We asked questions and then we did say,
We
in
came in
all
individually.
fairness, if you asked a question to one person, then we said, if you ask to one, then try to ask to all.
So it started with people just introducing themselves.
But you were part of that, right? And you recall, you came in separately?
One
One
on
on,
individually
Yep.
for the interview part.
Mark only brought in one candidate at a time.
and that was separate from that meeting night.
Was it
Yeah.
live stream?
It was a special session.
It was streamed, probably not.
It was not streamed.
I don't remember it being.
I don't believe.
It says there's a video. Yep,
What night was that, Lori?
it was
Say that again.
January 3rd.
Oh, January.
So it was on a work session.
No, it was a
No, it's
special
special
It was
session.
a special. Or do we want to call a special session for the week after, like the 16th?
So to go back just to Matt's question, so right now, like on the 9th work session, we've got Wold coming in, Wold and Margaret Johnson doing a referendum update. That's the meeting that we have the whole list of policies. I'm just kind of throwing out what's on there so far. At this point, we haven't really gotten much past that, but those are at least 2 bigger things that are on the work session.
I prefer a separate study session.
I agree.
So how would the 16th work as a special session? October 16th?
Good, somebody go ahead.
I'm not available.
What's the name?
Understand?
Oh, yeah.
Could we do it on the 10th?
I can't do it on the 10th.
Football night.
Could we wait until week after the 23rd meeting then?
Would that be 60 days though?
I don't think so.
No,
Because it was a
I'm
different
thinking
amount.
of
Is anything the 17th?
And Marge, you're always busy Wednesdays, right? You work
I
late?
work until 7,
Oh, but only Wednesday nights?
yes. And then 6 on Thursday and 5 on Friday.
Well, and it would be nice to put this date out when we ask for available people too, because of, I mean, I do think about the last time, Lori, like you said, there was someone unavailable at that date, so I think that'd be nice for them to know.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it would change, but I think it would be helpful.
Or you said no to the 16th, but maybe 17th?
No, I asked, someone said the 16th and they couldn't, and I said, and so they said the 17th.
Oh, okay.
And I said I couldn't.
Oh, you can't 17th, okay.
So we can't the 16th? You are gone from the 16th on?
So that week is out. And 10 is out, you said?
Can't do
You
the
can't do
10th.
10. 11's, that's a no. 12 is, Thursdays are pushing it for you, right, Marge?
I work till 6.
We can't do the 12th.
So when we go to 23rd?
Yeah, how about the 24th or the 25th?
I can do those.
Yes to both.
March, do you have a preference on Tuesday or Wednesday?
She can't do Wednesday.
Wednesday, so
Wednesdays.
Tuesday. Sorry, there's a, so
We
the,
can push it to later than 6 too.
Well, Wednesday I work till 7.
Right, but
Then you gotta
Tuesday-
drive.
Tuesday you're off? Okay.
so how about Tuesday, the 24th? Would that work? And then when will we want those available people to have them in by?
James?
Like they,
Yes. And their forms. I feel like if we're pushing it out, then maybe we could give a little bit more.
I would say the 6th. That's 3 weeks. Well, it's just sitting out there.
we're talking about them returning.
Yes,
Their answer to
showing their
questions.
interest.
They're submitting interest, right?
I'm thinking if, Shannon, do you think it'd be possible to get in the scoop by Friday or not?
By this Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so then if we did it by the 6th, it would be in the scoop 2 different Fridays. Unless if we pushed it to like the 9th, it would be in 3.
I'd maybe like to push it out one more week if we're gonna push it to the 24th.
If we have the time.
My only thought was, then you could give them 2 weeks though to do questionnaire or write up about themselves. They would have 2 weeks to get that back, or really a week and a half.
I mean, they can start now.
Well, I think
Yeah,
when
but
they
we have
submit
some
even interest, don't
questions.
they, I think when they submit interest, they do all of that at the same time.
Yeah, it should all be
Instead of
there.
just giving their name, they give the answers to the questions, like it's a kind of a one.
That's what I'd ask for.
Well, you might have already gotten some. Have we gotten any
I have not.
letters?
I don't know. No. So I guess there's where I'm gonna need a little bit of clarification too, because the policy says to submit the notice of interest to the clerk, which is Ian. And, you know, I mean, we could do it lots of ways, but that notice of interest, you know, wouldn't necessarily have to be anything extremely formal, but then Ian could let me know, and then I could follow up with this person and send them like a Google survey or something where we've got name, you know, all that kind of stuff, if that process makes sense.
Mhm.
However, I believe Ian could designate, usually it would be Alicia, but in this case it would be Monica, or perhaps even Shannon,
I'll do it, but,
if you would like. That
Yeah.
way it takes you out of the middle, but it's completely up to you, depending on how much time you have. And
Oh, yeah, sounds pretty good.
what's that?
Yeah, I think covered it. Just,
Yeah, I don't mind, sure, I mean, I'm happy to
or I can
be the
pass
point
it
of
on.
contact, and I can just be communicating with you guys and kind of keep you up to speed of who and how many, et cetera. That cuts out the middle person, that's a great idea.
Do they submit their name by the 6th, and then when they submit their name, we give them the information to fill out, and then we request that back by the 13th.
I think if you took interest by the 6th, on the 9th, Monday the 9th, everyone then that's interested, their name is in, everyone gets a packet on that date.
On that date.
They have 2 weeks or, a week and a half to complete it and return it. So answer questions, do right. That way there's nothing out there floating around that someone gets a head start on. They all get it on the 9th.
I like it.
But then.
But you would need it back by, what, the 18th?
But then when it comes back to us.
So they have a week and a half then to,
Return on the 18th.
Yeah,
then we get it ahead of time, we can look at it.
love it.
So submit interest by the 6th,
To me, if I'm hearing,
Shannon.
right? Okay,
Yep.
I'm just making sure.
right, Ian?
Yep.
And then, all at the same time, then on the 9th, they will get the questions to fill out Monday. And I can help with this too if you need any, like, we can back for like a Google form or something.
Right, and I think, before we leave here, I guess since we're all sitting here, like, what exactly do you want those questions to be? Other than the obvious name,
Mhm.
et cetera.
I think we should look at the last one.
And I think it's the same as we've been using, so the same questions that we used for the people who were running.
For all candidates.
Remember, we had questions that we posted on our school district website.
Oh. Okay,
If Alicia was here then, so she might have a file
Yep.
of what those questions were.
yep.
And I don't think they were different though.
I'm just looking if I have one too, but they were pretty, like, I think there was 5 of them or something. They were pretty standard.
Okay, I can find that easy enough.
And then if they're into you by the 18th, we
Yep.
can compile them together. And that just went to us then, those answers to the questions. Was that linked to the agenda? It just went to us, right?
I think so.
Okay.
And then on the 24th, they'd come in one at a time.
Mhm.
No structured questions, but open dialogue, conversation between us and that person.
The board was given an opportunity to ask
Ask
additional
questions, yeah.
questions or.
But we didn't have anything written or structured.
No.
Okay.
It was just advised that if you're gonna ask one person one question, to keep it fair amongst all the candidates to ask, or a similar type of question, to keep it consistent.
And is that interview open to the public?
It was.
I think it has to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that we hear it in case
Yeah.
anybody's asking, yeah.
And if then it's open to the public, it's also live streamed,
Okay.
right?
Did we have time for Tuesday? 6?
Good, 6 o'clock, the usual?
Tuesday the 24th, 6 o'clock.
Okay, I'm just looking through this policy again. Is there any other things, any other details or things that need to be put in that? So then just going back, we shall seek qualified and interested candidates from the community through news media, word of mouth, so word of mouth, that can be all of us, and contacts with appropriate organizations. And I would say then in addition, we'll make sure that that's in the Spartan Scoop to go forward
And we'll put it on Facebook.
on the Facebook page.
Mhm.
Good. Okay.
So we have the dates that the expressing an interest is due, and the same thing with the questionnaires. Is there a time that you want to put on there that it's due by?
3:30.
On the 6th?
On the 6th.
On both of the dates?
5 o'clock.
Oh, the 6th and the 18th?
3:30, isn't that when we're open here until?
What time's the office closed?
I'll put 4, just to round it up.
4 o'clock.
So by 4 o'clock on both days?
Yep,
So just to summarize, the 6th is the cutoff for expressing interest. The 9th, those questions will be sent out, and then they need to be returned on the 18th. And then we will have a special session on Tuesday, the 24th at 6 o'clock for the candidates for interviews.
Can I just clarify then too, this seat will fill Cherie's seat that will be reelected in the spring of 2024.
Correct.
Yes.
Mhm.
So whoever that person is will have to, if they choose to continue and want a desire to continue on the board, they'll have to then put their name on the next election.
Got it.
Okay, anything else with any of those topics for action and discussion? Okay then, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Is there a second? That goes to Bruce. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned at 6:25.
Hey, Shannon. See ya.